Eating is an important part of a student's daily life. At Georgia Tech, students are presented with various options of where to dine throughout the day. Of course, a critical part in student success is the nutrition of the student because eating a balanced diet allows the student to process concepts and analyze critically. Although Georgia Tech is an institution that provides for students of all backgrounds, the school itself has unconsciously created a socio-economic barrier between the students who attend. There are multiple centers for students to dine in. Many students living on campus have meal plans that allow them access to the dining halls on campus. These meal plans grant the student admission to eat either an unlimited or limited number of meal plans at specific dining locations depending on their chosen plan. That in itself sets up a socio-economic boundary between students because families have to choose which plan to select based on the amount of money they can afford to spend. The Student Center offers fast food restaurants where people can quickly pay for meals and enjoy the foods they typically find outside of campus, such as Panda Express and Subway. In addition to these venues, Tech Square offers even more restaurants and fast food locations. It, in fact, seems that Georgia Tech has a little bit of everything, a world of its own. Further establishing the economic boundary, some students do not have the funds necessary to take part in eating outside of their meal plan. In addition, the biggest example of socio-economic boundaries among dining on campus is the Student Center. This location on campus presents students with several fast food chains and restaurants to quickly grab a bite to eat. Unfortunately, only students who have extra money to spend at these restaurants have the pleasure of obtaining this luxury in the eyes of college students. There are students who cannot afford to eat here, so they are left feeling alone when the rest of their friends are able to enjoy this alternative food option and they cannot. This creates an environment that unknowingly begins to separate people. Students begin to lose invitations and opportunities to socialize because they do not have the extra money to spend. Would you consider yourself low, middle, or upper class?
I would consider myself upper class.
Does location contribute to the reason where you eat throughout the day?
Actually it does. In the mornings, I walk past the student center, so I normally have breakfast there. But for dinner, I'll eat at North Avenue Dining Hall because it's closer to my dorm.
An obvious difference comes in when one sees where these locations are presented on campus. The student center is located in the heart of the campus, where most classroom buildings are located. On the other hand, the dining halls are spread around the campus near residence halls, making it harder for students to eat while still making it to class on time. This provides an advantage for students with higher socioeconomic statuses.
The Student Center is right in the middle of campus, so if I want something nice and convenient to eat, I can go there. But North Ave, where I eat dinner, is a lot cheaper, so I'm torn between choosing location or convenience. Price is definitely one of the major things that I consider when I'm trying to choose where I want to eat.
I would say that I come from a middle class family, so it doesn't really matter for me. It's not that expensive in my case, but I can see how for some people who can't afford it or who are so used to having the free lunches in high school, it's hard to adjust.
A noticeable surprise is that Britton and North Avenue dining halls are almost right next to each other, while Woodruff Dining Hall is on the opposite side of the campus. This severely limits the options for those students who are on a meal plan. They have to eat what is closest to them at that moment and not even getting to consider the fact whether the food served tastes good or not.
Because I have 40 minutes in between classes, and so I'm always struggling to get to the dining hall, and I usually only have 5 minutes to eat, and I'm always in a rush, so sometimes I just reside to the student center instead of the North Ave dining hall.
We present a solution to make locations closer to each other to slowly eliminate this boundary. If we allow students to all eat within the same location, we allow them to feel socioeconomically equal. Making the dining locations in a more centered area would allow students to not feel isolated when having to eat in the dining halls. Those students who are restricted to eating in the dining hall due to lack of resources cannot eat with their less impoverished friends who are enjoying fast food meals. To eliminate this, we encourage a central commons where everyone can eat together. Dining points should be more accessible to a broader population of students. We see that the meal plans now offer dining dollars, points valued as money, that can be spent in the student center, but they are limited. There is an additional cost that is associated with adding the points to the bus card. In addition to the added cost, they cannot even be applied to restaurants in Tech Square, so the real purpose of the dining points is not achieved. We want to propose that meal plans incorporate more opportunities to eat in the student center as well as in Tech Square. This will benefit all students, giving them the opportunity to eat out more often. Instead of dining points, the meal plans could allow students access to a fast food menu at least 4 times a week. This will give students the opportunity to eat food convenient to their schedule rather than to their bank account.